Hello, thank you very much, Fuzzy. And I guess we've got 15 minutes, and I just gave a brief intro in the BitShares Hangout, but let's talk a little bit more about Zephyr and our token here today. So my name's George. I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called BitSpark. We're based in Hong Kong. We've been around for about 3 years, and back in 2014, we were the first to do a remittance transaction using Bitcoin as the means of transmission, so cash in, cash out. Using Bitcoin to send money around the world. Since then, we've expanded to 7 countries, and we have about 15 to 20, money transfer shops signed up to our system. Predominantly, though, our home market is Hong Kong, and that's where we focus. But we're looking to go global. And essentially, what we do as a company is we provide software for physical money transfer shops. So they are like your bricks and mortar Western Unions. These are the stores where people send money around the world. They have cash. Maybe they don't have a bank account, and this is how things happen. So they need software to convey money overseas, and essentially that's what we provide. But we use crypto as the means to do that instead of the banks. So we're about half the cost of everyone else, and we're looking to expand to new countries and new currencies through the use of BitShares, which we recently announced. But we've also just announced a token project called Zephyr, and that will be starting on the 6th of October for the public. You can see it at zephyr.bitspark.io, and I'll post a link in chat later on. But essentially, what we're trying to do with this UIE is this is a reward token for joining the BitSpark remittance network. So whenever you send a transaction, visit a money transfer shop, or whenever, say, the money transfer shop business signs up to BitSpark, we will reward them Zephyr. So we will essentially be paying them to do that, paying them to do them things that they already do for free. If they sign up to Western Union is not paying them to do that. So this is what we think is an effective way to expand our network to more countries and more currencies around the world. So we're using the token Zephyr in order to do that. And what we're actually doing as well is a percentage of transaction fees for every successful transaction on the network will go towards buying back Zephyr from the DEX. So, as we issue more coins to more people do more transactions, and then that means, more transactions that's buying Zephyr back from the DEX. So it supports the value of the UIA itself. It's not just something that someone would want to hold, but, as our network, I want to sell, but, as our network grows, the idea is so does the value of the token. So, that's what we're trying to achieve with this. And we really think that this is a good way to incentivize people wherever they may be in the world. That's a bit of a short intro, and I'd be happy to take any questions and sort of go from there.
My question that I had was, one of them rather, was how do you foresee making it so the value proposition for the Zephyr token seems to increase? Is it going to be like based off of a supply demand curve that you guys kind of have pre-established, and you're going to buy them and they're kind of burn them, and it's just going to continue going up in value based on a percentage of what you guys will buy them back based on a percentage? Or
Yeah, so a bit of an explainer. When a money transfer shop does a transaction, we leave it up to them to set their fees. And it depends on the jurisdiction where they're at, and that will, dictate the fees. So if you're in a very competitive place, maybe your fee is pretty low, but if you're not in a competitive place, then, maybe you can afford to have a higher fee. But of course, as more people sign up and get on the same system, then you'll be forced to drop your fee. So, let's give an example of, say, sending $250 to someone in another country. That's the standard around the world for remittances. And let's say the fee is perhaps 4% or 3%. In Hong Kong, our fee is 1%. But let's use another example. So a couple of percent is what your standard fee is going to be, and 25% of that fee will be used to buy back Zephyr. So that's if you're sending $250, almost $1 or something like that will be used to buy back Zephyr from the market, and that'll be happening continuously every time a transaction happens. So the more transactions that happen, the more buybacks that will be. Our intention is that BitSpark itself will be the buyer in that market, and we will just be executing transactions as they come. So it's accountable in that people will be able to see what we're doing. They'll be able to see the transactions happening on the blockchain. They'll also be able to ensure that we are using every single dollar from those transactions to buy it back from the DEX as well, and be transparent about that. So the amount that we'll be buying from the DEX obviously depends on the fees of that particular transaction. But yeah, over time, the incentive is that we're constantly going to be buying as we have more and more transactions. And of course, why do we think there's going to be more transactions? Well, essentially, we're giving people tokens to sign up. So, they only get those tokens when they do a transaction. So yeah, that's how it's going to work.
I've got a follow up to that. Forgive me if you said this and I missed it. So you buy them back from the transaction, and then what do you do with them?
So, I mean, at this stage, the company will be having them, on as a balance, as an asset. Now, the question is, what is BitSpark going to do with those tokens over time? Maybe we burn them. Maybe we keep them for marketing purposes or something like that. Spreading the network even more. That's a good conversation for the community, and something which I'm sort of thinking about as now. But yeah, the idea is that we will be purchasing them and we will be locking them away for some period of time. So yeah, at this stage, it's going to be dictated by the company, but if it depends, what the community would be more comfortable with. We're happy to think about that.
How do you get involved in that decision-making process as
Have
a
you
community?
considered Go ahead.
Well, I mean, come to our chat in Discord and let us know what you think about Zephyr or any other the aspects of it. So yeah, I mean, it is a UIA issued by us as a company, so we're just our intent is that over time, we'll be the buyer, and maybe a percentage of the tokens will be used to either more issuance at the end of the day, or issuing rewards or something like that. So maybe that would come from the balance of which we've already bought back. So that would be a good question to have.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I would like to discuss it a little bit, because there are a lot of potential value propositions that can be used, and I personally think something like buying it back with an increasing pool, and like just giving a percentage based on like a monthly amount that you're going to buy back, and letting it as let people wonder, are they going to go, I think that they're going to go up in price, so I won't sell them. So you create that dynamic, and then at the same time, if they are thinking that the ones that are bought back are going to be like burned or something like that, then you might have the opportunity where you're starting to show people, or a percentage of them are burned. Now it's a deflationary thing, so it almost guarantees it's going to go up in price as the transactions increase on the network. In addition to that, of course, right?
Yeah,
these are just off my head.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to make this system sustainable as well. We want to, be able to, whatever our network expands at, we want to have the ability to say, yep, a year from now, we're still going to have the ability to issue tokens. We're not going to run out. So, it obviously depends what the rewards are per transaction, per sign up, or these sorts of things. So, yeah, I think the community would sort of want to perhaps have a buyback and burn. And yeah, we're open to it. So definitely, let your thoughts be heard.
Another option would be something like what Steam does with the power down. You could buy back and say, we're not going to be able to use these for a year or something like that. And then once the year is up, you're able to decide what to do with them or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're distributing though in some way, then that means that what we're buying back is then entering circulation again, which has the net benefit of then people may sell it again. So it kind of reduces the benefit of us buying. So there needs to be some sort of lockup mechanism in place for sure.
Cool.
Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding this remittance markets? Because what they're doing, I'm just going to make it clear because not everybody here, most of you are more from Steam at this point, but there's obviously a lot of crossover between the platforms. So I'm not trying to say that you don't know what you're talking about or anything, but one of the big things that we've talked about earlier is that remittance markets is hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year, and that's with a B. What, like 600 billion or something like that?
Yep.
And to be able to give these different countries a decentralized means of accomplishing remittance in a scalable way, mind you, everyone, is what they're bringing to BitShares. and that's huge.
Just to add on that, it's like I live in a city that has a lot of people who have family in other nations, and what they do is they move here, they work, and then they send money back home. And the way they do that right now through Western Union and these other shops is not the most efficient way after blockchain got developed. So this is a pretty exciting project in my end.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's just the official numbers, the 600 billion. Most people think that the unofficial way, sort of on the black market as well, is at least, double that. So, so there's a lot of money out there which is going back and forth between different places, and people use these cash shops. That's what they do. They, many people, for small transactions, they might not have a bank account. So having some online website or some app is not useful for the large majority of the population. So you've got to have something which targets cash. You've got to have something which targets where people are at the shops. And the beauty of this system is they don't have to know about all the technical stuff behind a blockchain and BitShares. They just go to a shop which they've gone to, and then they put their cash, and then they say, hey, I want to send it somewhere. And then the shop will go and type it into BitSpark and it'll get sent. So, the actual end customer doesn't need to know all the technical stuff behind how blockchains work to actually use it.
So what about BlockPay? What resemblance is there between BlockPay and you? If you do know BlockPay?
I've only looked briefly at BlockPay, but my understanding is they're a POS terminal, correct? More targeted at merchants.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a different use case, entirely different customer base. It's for POS terminal transactions. We're for money transfer shops and money transfer businesses, and they're cash in, cash out vendors that send internationally. So different use case, but yeah, totally support what the BlockPay guys are doing. Looks awesome.
Okay, great. I just wanted to see the difference. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so if there's any other questions, then you can find me on the Telegram chat or also in Discord as well. We have a BitSpark channel, and that's where we'll be talking all things Zephyr. As I said, token sale officially begins to the public on the 6th of October, and there's some discounts in for that as well. And yeah, no, we're happy to make it happen, and we'll be rolling this out within the next few months with the UN in Tajikistan. I spoke a little bit about that in the previous chat, but yeah, that's going to be our first pilot of the whole system.
Well, I don't know how Tajikistan is, but
Fuzzy's gone.
Okay.
He's back.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure. How the Philippines are is they have a lot of these mom and pop shops essentially. And they all have phones and basic internet almost on them, like many people. I was stunned by how many people carry around a phone and have some access to internet with it.
Yeah.
So my question is, are you guys planning on like all these mobile applications for them just to download it to like a tablet or something and they can do it that way?
Yeah, we already have our mobile app called Sendy. You can check it out in the Android App Store. From that, you can see where our existing money transfer shops are. And particularly to your point about the Philippines, we already have about 100,000 cash out destinations there. Now, these are destinations which are connected to us, not 100,000 locations using BitSpark. But having said that, that's every single bank in the Philippines you can receive money, and every single cash physical shop. Some of the big ones there are called Cebuana, Mlua, LBC, and a couple of others. That's how people receive money, is these physical shops. So we have to be able to hook into that, which we do. But yeah, the idea is that you can download our app wherever you may be in the world, and you'll be able to visit a BitSpark shop or a BitSpark connected, cash in or cash out location, and be able to send money on your phone. And yeah, Philippines is a good use case for that. I think they have free Facebook there, which is why everyone is on Facebook.
Yes.
Or the internet, or the megabytes are not counted towards your plan or something like that.
Well, my alarm just actually went off and cut me off. So really quickly, before we go any further, the Zephyr token is not currently trading. Is that correct?
Correct. Not currently trading until the end of the token sale period, which will be the 6th of November.
Okay. So people can look forward to that, and I would love to hear back from you a little bit more in the future. But I do want to make it clear to everybody, it is on the DEX. You can go and actually go to see the market. It's just not, there's just nothing on there except for buy orders right now. And that means that they haven't put them out yet. So you can go see where the market is, and they have posted the market. Or actually, I believe Steam Power Picks posted it for you guys in the market, in the post as a reply. And with that said, how do people reach out to you if they would like to work with you in any way, shape, or form on this?
Yeah, so you can reach me on Twitter at George_Harrop. You can also reach me on the BitShares Telegram chat. I think I'm at George_BitSpark there, and the same on Discord as well. But if you do have any questions of the company or anything, reach out to us at info@bitspark.io. So that's the best locations.
Info@bitspark.io.
Bitspark.io. Yep.
Well, thank you very much for joining up, man. And I do appreciate it. I think that it cannot be understated how valuable remittance is to the crypto space, and especially to these countries that you guys are bringing it to. So thank you for the work that you're doing.
No worries. Thank you very much, Fuzzy, for hosting this. And yeah, looking forward to hear from all the other cool projects.
It's always cool to know that there are people who listen and that you guys have listened to us in the past. So it always is a very humbling experience to find out who has listened to it. So thanks for also doing that, man. Now up next is going